Welcome in, Twin City Sports Talk. We got a few trade rumors to address with Jesper Wallstedt today, and we got two game days between the Wild and Wolves, both at home tonight. So fans, go out and support your local sports teams. Um, yeah, we don't got a lot today. We got, like I said, a few trade rumors. We're going to start off with our sponsor, Kitchen Wise, Closet Wise, as I try to pull their video up here. They're They've sponsored us for 3 days now, but either way, family-owned, operated business proudly serving the Twin Cities and surrounding areas. If you're ready to truly maximize your space, they would seem to know. They're specialized in creating system or custom solutions designed around how you actually live, from kitchens and closets to pantries, garages, and more. They transform underused or cluttered spaces into something both beautiful and highly functional. What sets Kitchen Wise and Closet Wise apart is their focus on smart layouts, quality materials, and custom designs that make the most of every inch. If you want storage spaces that work harder for you, Kitchen Wise, Closet Wise will make it happen. Call or go to the website for someone to come out for a free consultation. They're great. Everyone go check them out. Get someone out for that free consultation. Today, Wallstead. There's been not trade links or anything like that, but people have brought up the idea of trading Jesper Wallstedt for you would get a top tier forward, a goal scorer, someone you slide in right on that second line, like and would realistically should give you points in the playoffs is what the idea is here. I mean, because Jesper Wallstedt, basically like his rookie year here, having kind of slipping as of late, but having a phenomenal year nonetheless.
Yeah.
And yes, you would. I see. We haven't done like a lot of research because honestly, Trevor and I just both think this is not going to happen no matter what. But I mean, it's pretty obvious. You would. I mean, Trevor brought up a good point. So we were talking about this yesterday, I think, and I said I wouldn't do it because in the playoffs, if you're really planning on making a big run, you need more than Gus in that because that's like 4 weeks, maybe a little even more than that. If you're gonna make a run in the playoffs, expect more than 4 weeks of just playoff
Well, yeah,
hockey.
it's going to be more than 4 weeks because a 7 week or a 7 game series is 2 weeks right there.
Yeah, well, exactly.
Well, I guess it depends how far you go.
Yeah, but either way,
yeah.
like the Wild team they're made to go far. They should. I mean, they're going all in with Quinn Hughes and talking about getting another forward before the trade deadline here. My point is,
And by forward, we're more so hinting at center, a second line center, to go with Eck as the top two. But
yeah, we need someone who can win some faceoffs because we've talked about the power play being very below average the past month, basically. Just really bad ever since they kind of got Quinn Hughes. They can't really figure out who's going to run it, who's going to play off of each other there. But half of that starts with winning faceoffs in your own zone because the Wild stink at it. Really, no matter. I mean, Eck, he wins about 50% of his faceoffs, so you can't complain. But they're not really getting it anywhere else. Nico Sturm's a good addition for it. He can win
but
some.
he ain't gonna play power play.
Exactly.
That's the bummer there.
Yeah. So you need a guy that can give you a little bit of a oomph there because that's the big thing here.
Well, yeah, and every center we've been linked to, I'm trying to think of them off the top of my head. So you got Trocheck, you've got Sidney Crosby, which is unlikely, but there's the Pittsburgh connection with Guerin, and Fleury being an advisor with the Wild if he'd want to come, but I don't think Crosby's willing to leave Pittsburgh. Which, yeah, makes sense. I'm trying to think.
I mean, we
others.
did so.
But the point being, there's no.
Just got traded to not a center, but winger.
Yeah,
but,
I think the only way you trade Wallstedt's for the center, because wingers. I mean,
I think
I can't.
For your wingers, I just like we just said, the center. You need to address that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, do you think? So I don't know if this guy's name is even like in risk of being traded, but the Canucks are in just a bad
Pedersen.
right now. Yeah. So
I
a
think
lot
he's always been
Pedersen.
on trade rumors. I mean, if you just
Yeah.
traded Hughes, you could. I know. I think he's on a big contract, so that's part of it. Um, but yeah, I mean, I would be open to it.
hmm
Maybe that's the guy you would
I
trade.
also I also ask it. So if would you maybe Pedersen, maybe someone else, would you trade Wallstedt for like one of those guys? And like this is sorry, I didn't get to say this earlier, but Trevor brought up a good point when we were talking about yesterday. You would probably get like another goalie in return, like in a
But yeah,
trade.
one of two.
So
Yeah, two things. So
yeah,
Bruce and I don't think Wellsett will be traded, just
yeah,
given the reliable rumors of the guys the Wild have been linked to. For both
yeah,
of us, neither has been worth giving up a future, very likely premier goalie for years to come with Wallstedt. So,
yeah,
but that's what we think. Now, Guerin is willing to trade whatever it takes, as he just traded 4 first-round assets for Quinn Hughes. So
yeah,
he is aggressive and he's willing to make some moves. If you do trade Wallstedt, I'm sure the Wild can get a depth goalie. Because I mean, if you
yeah,
think reverse roles, we acquired Middleton for Kako Kop, or Capo Kakinen, I
yeah,
think's the
yeah,
pronunciation.
yeah,
Um, but if you flip that, we could trade a mid tier pick or a depth guy for a reliable backup goalie. So
yep.
I think if Wallstedt's gone, you are acquiring a goalie. I know the Wild have Cal Peterson in the AHL, and honestly, I have no idea if he's been good or bad or whatnot. But I still think even if
I think he's had a
Peterson's
good
been
year.
good,
hmm
you're one injury away, and then you're playing a no name. I don't know who like our second AHL goalie is. So
Exactly. It's
even if Peterson's playing well, I think
you'd need someone
you
back
still need
for
to
sure.
you want to have at least three and
And
have
for
a
what Trevor said, Wallstedt is set to be like a premier goalie in this league. Like he will be an asset. So it's not like a worry for like what you can get back. Like some people would say, like you can't get like a top 6 line center and get one of their 2 starting goalies, most likely their
yeah.
backup
This
for
would be
whatever team.
separate.
But um yeah, well, I mean, I feel like you maybe could, depending on
It
age and contract between like the center you get. I think you could definitely get both of them
that's
for
true.
Wallstead.
Yeah,
Because what is Wallstead? He's 23 years old.
he's very young.
So yeah,
He's
he's having this
young
type of year,
20s.
and yeah, he's very young too. So I bring up a few other names, and those are being some division kind of rivals. So Ryan O'Reilly and Steven Stamkos from the Preds. Those are be two guys, I
Yeah,
think.
because like most of these names, Trocheck, Riley, Stamkos, right? Those
hmm
are all the old goalies, as we all know. So that's where
The old
you and I
centers.
cut it off. Yeah, yeah. Well, I
You said
think if you're,
goalies. Sorry.
oh yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
these are all older guys. Trocheck at 32, I believe his age is, yeah, he is 32. I'm pretty sure.
Seems
You
right.
could argue you can get some more. I don't know his injury history, so as long as he's been pretty durable, you could
hmm
maybe make a case for Trey Wallstedt there if you can still bank on multiple years with Trocheck. But yeah, I feel like for
Yep.
Stamkos and um, O'Reilly, is it? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. O'Reilly
I feel
is
like those
one
guys
I
are more
said.
year to year to retire, and so to give up on a
Yeah.
future goalie for years and years and years, it's a little too steep for us.
Okay, so one other name that I just saw. The Jets are having a bad year. I mean, they're below 500. They're 20, 23, and 6. Brad Lambert, he's under 25. Um, I'm gonna
Yeah,
look up
what's
the
his
stats,
stats? I was
but
gonna say I'm not. I know who he is, but I guess I didn't. If he's having a good year, I guess anything's possible. Well, they also have Adam Lowry, which I think he might be their captain. I know he's a good face-off guy. If I'm thinking of the right player.
Yeah, so Brad Lambert's only 23, and right now, okay, this was confusing because he's been on the team for 3 years now, but he's kind of just been hopping up and down. Like he's kind of like the David Yurchek situation right
Yeah,
now.
but he hasn't. He's a top pick.
Yes,
But
I
he
think
hasn't. He's not producing.
no.
Obviously, if he's been going up
Yeah,
and
he's
up.
the first
So
round pick in 2022. So
yeah, and I
but,
mean, more and more as we go more and more games, and he really hasn't played in most of them. The year check trade, I'm still
yeah.
for the trade. It's a high risk, high reward.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, really, if you like do a deep dive, if you just like look at wild picks, I forget all that entails because it was multiple picks. Damon Hunt was the one player, and ironically, or funny enough, he's back on our team after we got him on waivers. I think right before the year started or shortly after.
Yep.
So now it's all the picks that Columbus has. But really, it was a first rounder, which obviously that's going to be worth it, or it should be for Columbus. But then every pick after
Mm-hmm.
that is like mid to later picks, and it's like, what's the chances of those guys pan out? Maybe they're a fringe NHL guy, but the chances of any of them being like a productive pick, maybe,
Yeah.
like I said, second or third rounders. But once you get fourth round and later, it's most of the time those guys aren't panning out or have a low impact role. But anyways, it looks like your check was isn't. I don't know if he'll be worth what we gave up. He could still
Mm-hmm.
be a decent NHL player for us. But I mean,
Yeah, I think give him a
it'll be
little bit more
interesting when
time.
Bogosian
But
retires,
yeah.
assuming he does this year, and Yurchek should have a full time slot going into next year.
Yeah, he'll get
But
his
no,
run.
but back to Lambert. That's why I would be out. I mean,
Yeah.
you don't want to keep doing these high
Risk kind of things.
yeah, where it's high risk, high reward. So
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather get like a guy for a fair return. I can give up a pick or two. And by
Mm-hmm.
pick, I mean like second, third, fourth. If you need
I
to send
think
in an
my
offer,
favorite
but
would be Pedersen from the
yeah,
Jets. If you could make that happen, I'd feel very good because he's got 13 goals, 16 assists this year. He has a plus minus of -14, but that's not completely always
about
his
6 months.
fault.
Yeah, it's the
Yeah, it's
Kimmy's
not.
on. And
Exactly.
yeah, I mean the Canucks are a dumpster fire, so that's actually a good name to keep an eye on.
Yeah. And I think Guerin would really do anything in his power to make something like that happen. Which I'm not
Facing
saying is
the
bad, but because you got to show some courage sometimes when you're um, the GM of a team here. One other thing I wanted to note, the Wild have obviously hit kind of a rough patch here for the past 2 weeks. Injury bug has kind of hit, but I want to really harp on that this was the worst time this could have happened because the Dallas Stars, I'm just going to read it from, I'm going to go back to December 23rd in a game against the Red Wings. I'm just going to go win-loss up until present day. Loss, loss, loss to end out December for the Stars. And
four
then to
or
start
three.
3 of them. But you'll get to the 4th one here in a
Yeah.
row because to start January, they go loss, loss, loss. So 6 losses in a row for the Stars. Win against the Capitals, loss against San Jose, win against the Kings, loss, loss, loss. And then last time out 2 days ago, they beat Boston 6-2.
And I'm sure a couple of those losses are
But in their last ones, they're like 3-11. And you're still, so if people go back, I think it was me and Jack on an episode. In that stretch, Dallas had a 6-game road trip. And that was at the time where we were tied in the standings with them, like points wise. And we were like, man, Dallas is kind of stumbling here. You can really get a big jump on them.
yeah.
Now that the Wild have decided to go on a complete loose-ended bad streak here too, we are still tied with the Stars in the standings at 65 apiece. Dallas lost 11 of their 14 games, and we're still tied with them. So that unlucky, yes. It just sucks too.
Because, yeah, what's the standings for the top three? We're still in third, right? How's it go?
Yeah.
Points wise?
Colorado's with 77 points. And then Dallas and Minnesota at 65. Utah is
It's looking
at
like
56.
Colorado.
So
We're going to get that first. But it all comes down to who can get that first round playoff matchup at home. The additional home game.
Yeah, that's
that
so
2-3
big. I mean,
matchup.
these teams are so even between Dallas and Minnesota. I think, well, they're so even now that you got Quinn. If you didn't have Quinn, it wouldn't be as even. I mean, the Dallas roster would still be more, but yeah, it's crazy where they're at right now. But got to start stacking a few wins again. They're kind of turning the right page, and hopefully they'll get some guys healthy back. But again, we don't really, NHL's so wishy-washy on their injury reports. We don't really know when guys are going to be back. Or we do know, okay, Jonas Brodin, he got shut down for the foreseeable future now.
Yeah, Brodin's out for
which Trevor told me yesterday it stinks because now he's out for his Olympic bid with Sweden, right? It is Sweden.
Well, yeah, and it sucks more because this is the first time NHL players are playing in the Winter Olympics since, was it the TJ Sochi? It had to have been.
I think so.
When Oshie literally put the country on his back and went out in that shootout. The U.S. did, I remember, gosh, I wish I could remember. It went, we had one guy shoot one of it, but then Oshie, I got every other shot in the shootout, which is kind of an interesting real life. I'm always so torn on that real quick because half of me thinks, it's cool that you can send one guy out, but then the other half is, should you be able to send just one guy out? Who knows? But yeah, it's just a bummer because, like I said, NHL players haven't played in a while, so this would have probably most likely would have been his one and only because I feel like he's, it's every 4 years. So is Brodin still playing 4 years from now? And if he is, probably not at Olympic Team Sweden caliber. So yeah, real big bummer for him.
Yeah, it definitely is. And yeah, that is a good point because I was thinking to myself, like, have the same guy for 3 shootout shots, then you're kind of playing like a mind game with the goalie. What's my move going to be here? And that would be interesting. But then, like, you kind of want to see other players out there either way. It's a good question, actually. Yeah. By the way, we're going to go over our predictions me and Trevor made a couple days ago when the Wild played the Canadiens and the Wolves played the Jazz. So I said the Wild would lose. Ding, ding, ding. The Wild lost 4-3. The Wolves lost to the Jazz 127-122. Trevor said the Wild would win. That is wrong, which stinks because Trevor got the score prediction correct.
Yeah,
4-3, but just opposite winner. I said the Wolves would win. We lost to the Jazz.
Yeah, I didn't watch that, but when I saw that, I'm like, how?
It's just add this to the list of like 8 embarrassing losses for the Wolves this year. Like embarrassing. Keontae George had 43, a career high 43 points in this game. So
yeah,
it just sucks. But also Trevor said the Wolves would win. For obvious reasons. It's the Utah freaking Jazz in 2026 here. I said the first line for the Wild would have 3 goals. I need a booth review of this. So the Wild scored 3 goals in this game because they lost 4-3. The first one was scored by Vladimir Tarasenko on the first line for the power play. That one's good.
Yep.
And then the third goal was Vlad Tarasenko on the power play, again, assisted by Kirill and Matt Zuccarello. Good. The third goal in the second period was Brock Faber, assisted by Kirill Kaprizov and Vinny Hinostroza. So Kirill assisted Faber. What's your word on that?
Because it was
Faber who scored the goal.
I know, but what's our predictions? Did we
my prediction was the first line would score 3+ goals in that Wild game. And they scored 2, but then this one's questionable, I saw. So Brock Faber scores, which is your first defensive
D.
pairing, and then he was assisted the first. What is it like the word for like the person who
Even
gave you the
strength.
puck? No. Like the
The
Kirill
secondary
had the puck
assist?
last. Yeah, the secondary assist was Vinny Nostroza, but the main assist was Kirill.
Oh yeah, no, I mean a point's a point, even if you're the secondary assist. So is it just a matter of person will get a
Well,
point?
no. It was that technically the first line. Was it a first line goal? That's
Oh,
what
if
I'm
it's
wondering
Nostroza?
because Vinny.
Oh,
That's
because
what I
it's
want your
power
word
play.
on. No, it was not. This
No?
was the second goal. Faber just scored even strength, assisted by Kirill and Vinny. Was it would you count that as a first line goal?
Here, let's go back to it. We'll look at a footage because I know Kirill may hop on. If Kirill's hopping on as like just since it's Kirill, he sometimes will take someone else's shift, especially when the puck's in the offensive zone. Like it might be fourth line out there, but if it's like a Charlie comes off the ice or a Pitlick comes off the ice and Kirill comes on, but it's still Nostroza and Sturm, you could argue that's fourth line. Or
Okay, no, it
or
was first line because Yurov was
okay.
on the ice, Quinn Hughes and Faber and Kirill. Okay,
Yeah.
that's
So
the
I would
first line.
strictly just go off. Yeah, because Faber's out there, Hughes will be out there unless it was just
Yeah.
after a line change. So I would more so go off forwards. But yeah, if you're out there, yeah. I'd count
Okay,
it.
so there we go. Booth review. Bruce gets a point. That puts him up to 16 points. I said J, our young 19-year-old rookie for the Wolves, I said he would have 8 points. He ended up having 4 with a couple missed shots. Kind of a bad beat there. Trevor, this is a very bad beat. He said Denault would have a 70% face-off win percentage, which is such a cool, fun prediction. He won 10 of 15, which put him at 66%.
Damn.
So I think if he got one more, he would have gotten it. So Denault, bad beat there for Trevor.
And that's why that could actually be another guy the Wild actually trade for. Like face
yeah,
off
I was
winner.
gonna
Yeah. Anyway.
Yep. And then he said slow-mo, Bones Highland and Joe Ingles would combine for 20 points. They combined for 4. So
Is that what it was? That's about a luck. It was only 4.
they combined for 4 because I'm pretty sure Highland had 0.
Yeah.
And Highland's losing minutes now. Like he is losing minutes on this Wolves
Are
team.
we at so no Dillingham still? Okay. Yeah, he only played 4 minutes.
Yeah. And Kyle Anderson only had 2. Okay, so actually only 2 points they combined for.
Wow.
But I'm going to be honest, like
Joe Ingles.
Highland, he has not gone a game with only playing 4 minutes in a while. He has usually been getting more minutes than that. So that's kind of that stinks. But either way, those are our predictions for today. I wanted to bring up one more name real quick. Vlad Tarasenko is having such a good 2 weeks here. And he had such a bad start to the year where we were like, what a stupid signing by Guerin. But I'm not going to like praise him for making the best signing on earth, but it has turned out just like that Mojo signing.
It wasn't even a signing. It's literally just we got him for nothing in that trade with Detroit.
Oh, was it a trade? Oh,
yeah, literally we gave up nearly nothing, and I still to this day don't even know. It was either like a very late pick, a 6th or 7th, or it was a no-name prospect, which every once in a while some no-name prospect can pan out. But yeah, basically it was a salary dump for Detroit, and also in the fact I never followed it closely, but I think he was just extremely unhappy there. Both sides wanted to just move on. We literally took him for like free because there was a slight argument he might be a tad overpaid. For life of me, I can't think of how much he's making this year.
Well, 9.5, but the Wild are eating 4.7 of it.
Or Detroit is, you're saying?
The Wild are eating 4.7. Detroit's got the rest of it, so it's basically split right down the middle.
So yeah, at that amount, then yeah, that's fine. It's a reliable scorer.
He is producing.
Player type completely different, but he reminds me of Trenton, right? You're not going to get much during the season, but come playoff time, it's like when it really clicks, and then they really start performing in the way they are as players. So, Trenton will hit Trenton's already been doing it much better this year, but last year, non-factor come playoff time, he's much better.
Yeah.
And I feel like Tarasenko would just hopefully be on a heater come playoff time and be a big secondary scorer besides
I
our
mean,
first
he's
line
been in this
forwards.
situation too. Didn't he go to the finals with the
Blues?
Blues? Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, I think you're right.
He's been there. So another good veteran signing for kind of going all in this year. So either way, I just want to note that real quick. Vlad, you're playing some amazing hockey.
Bruce
The
is happy.
puck is just finding the net. Really, it's just the easy
Puck
way to
find
say
net.
it there.
It's like Happy
Puck
Gilmore.
find
Just go home. Just go home.
Go,
Don't
but
you
you're
wanna go
home, puck. All right, we're gonna put these predictions back on the screen here. I forgot to write it down, but 2 games tonight. Wolves play the Bulls at home, welcoming Michael Jordan's team, and then the Wild play the Red Wings, kind of that like half and half, like not
State
border battle,
hockey
but like
state.
yeah,
Bogus. It's clearly
the
us
cold
and us.
states. Yeah.
I will say, I always forget it now. I finally remembered. For their hockey state tournament, does it sell out like ours? Because if it doesn't, that in itself
No
should prove
idea.
that they are not the state of hockey.
Yeah, I mean, you
If they
show
wanna claim to
anyone
be.
a picture of Grand Casino Arena at the high school state hockey tournament,
It's
everyone would say,
XL.
yeah, well, whatever.
But yeah, well, it's not, but it is.
Yeah, everyone will say, "Oh, is that a Wild game?" No, that's just high school kids playing hockey. It's just the entire state comes out to watch them. And I do it too. It's really fun to go down and watch because Minnesota produces hockey players. But little update for injuries. The Wolves are kind of the same. Terrence Shannon's really the only one being out right now. Then the Wild, they're not getting anyone back tonight between Boldy, Eck, Mojo. Not getting anyone back in that regard. For the Red Wings in net, I'm assuming it will be is it going to be Cam Talbot? All right, it's either John Gibson or Cam Talbot, and both of them, I think, are having pretty dang good years. I mean,
feels like Cam Talbot's been very like under the radar, but in the league for forever. But anyway,
Cam Talbot hasn't played since January 13th, so we don't know yet. We're recording in the morning, but either way, let's get to our predictions. I'll start out with the Wolves. I think after an embarrassing loss, the Wolves are going to come back stronger here because they have been winning games that they should in the past month, except for this Jazz game. So I'm going to go Wolves win 123-111. And then for my player prediction, I think Rudy will have a big game tonight. I'm going to go Rudy double-double.
You're absolutely a fool. That's literally what I wrote. I'm going to see if I can.
Really?
I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah, I see it. Rudy double-double.
That's so annoying. Once when I heard Rudy, I'm like, yeah. All right, that's fine. I'll let it slide this time.
Yep. All right, Trev.
I did it to Jack. You did it to me. I see how it is.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let me quickly think of one. For Wolves, I had Wolves winning 114-103. And how has Julius been doing lately? Let me skim real quick. Julius scoring 20, 25 plus. What's he averaging? 22. We'll go 25 plus. And he will.
We can do 20.
Sorry, hold on. I'll do 20 points, but I'll add to it. So I'll do 20 points, and he'll have at least 3 threes. So 3 threes or more.
Okay.
Because he's
3 plus.
It's like 1 3, no threes, 2 threes, 4 threes, no threes, 1
That's
3.
Good.
And it's
All right. For my Wild prediction, Wild coming off a loss against the Canadiens. Hard-fought game. I feel like we probably should have noted that, but Cole Caulfield scored with 15 seconds left. The Wild went into a complete shell in the last minute and we're just letting the Canadiens rip pucks on net. And then it was one of those situations where you're like, okay, they're going to score.
Trying to survive.
You could tell. They were just getting good ops, and then Cole Caulfield scores 15 seconds. Wild missed out on gaining a point in the standings by 15 seconds. So either way, Wild heartbreaking loss. Coming in against a 31-16-4 Red Wings team. Red Wings are going well right now. They're fast. They're really everything that they need to be as a team. I got the Wild losing tonight. I'm gonna say 4-2. Prediction here. I'm gonna say this because Vlad's been on a complete heater. I think he has a point in his last 5 games. Vlad will not have a point tonight. Vlad, no point. All right, Trev, Wild prediction.
Vlad, no point after you're just hyping him up. Pick
Yeah.
a side, dude. I have Wild squeaking by 3-2. Like we might have another overtime game. That's not a prediction. Anyways, yeah, simple one. Patty Kane, Wild killer, will have at least 1 point tonight because I feel like he's a second line guy, and
Oh yeah, I like that.
He's not playing as much as he used to, but yeah.
Yep. Standings going into tonight, I'm sitting at 49-34 with 16 points. Jack in the middle has 21 and 25 for 11 points. Trevor is down to 500 now. Very cold streak for Trev right now. 20 and 20,
you know what?
6 points.
I'm tanking for McKenna. All right, it is what it is. I want my boy Krill and McKenna together.
True that. All right, there's a little Jesper Wallstedt talk. A little trade rumors addressed. Again, everyone, we're giving away tickets. January 2nd, Montreal Canadiens game for the Wild. 2 tickets, section 107, row 14, right?
Yeah.
Go to the Instagram account, Twin City Sports Talk, to figure out how to enter for that. I said it yesterday, we got some big news coming soon. We'll probably reveal that this weekend sometime. Big news. It's gonna be
elite
fun, but
news.
That's a good icebreaker. Either way, everyone go follow the YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and Spotify for Twin City Sports Talk. We'll see you again tomorrow.